All right. Hey. We're back up in this. Congratulations for making it over to episode 2 of the Rekindle podcast. Today is November 11th, 2019. It's Veterans Day. Shout out to all my veterans out there. Kind of quiet. We do have a veteran. I thought you were going to be like, ooh,
I'm a vet.
All right, let's get this shit started. Let's get it popping and cracking. I'm one of your hostess with the mostest, Mike.
And you know, Jake.
Yeah, we're up here in the Rekindle podcast, as I've mentioned before. If you guys want to give us any topics or anything to talk about, you can find us at anchor.fm/rekindle. Anchor.fm/rekindle to check out our podcast, and we appreciate you guys for tuning in. Must be a boring Monday out there for people. It is Monday. My weekend was whatevers, but I want to hear about Jake's weekend. How was your weekend?
You know, it was decent.
Was it decent?
That's about all I got. Actually, I went down to Kansas City, did a little tunnel coaching. That's the indoor wind tunnel. That's where the air comes up and it simulates skydiving. So I fly in there a lot, and I coach people on how to get better in it. And that was pretty fun. Went down there. Let's see. That's about all I got.
Come
really
on,
for
give
that.
me something
I went
juicy.
to bed at 7:50 p.m. last night.
What bothered you over the weekend? What messed up text messages did you get? Who died on your favorite series on TV?
Well, made a little road trip. Got to drive my new van all the way down there. You know, I'm expecting father, so I did the responsible thing, and I bought a minivan, and I drove it down to Kansas City, and I love it.
What kind of van did you get?
Well, I got that Dodge Grand Caravan, you know,
Dang.
stow and go seating,
Mm-hmm.
all powered doors and back hatch. And I've wanted one for a long time because very, very, very useful tool for when you're a skydiver, because you drive that to the drop zones on the road trips, and then you just camp inside of it, so you don't have to pay for a hotel or get a camping spot, set up a tent or anything like that. You just bring that bed with you, and then you got a covered place to sleep. So works really well.
Hey, you can twist, turn, and put it any way you want. You know it's a dad van. You can justify it any way you want, up and down. You have converted to the full daddy mobile.
I know. The thing is, ever since I've been a skydiver, I wanted a van to sleep in. But when I told people I was getting a minivan, they were starting to give me some shit like, "Oh my God, I can't believe you're gonna actually drive a minivan. You're gonna, drive other stuff and have kids still too." I'm like, dude, I drive a Spark. All right, it's an upgrade. I'm have no shame in my car game. I would drive whatever the fuck has wheels and gets me around. I do not mind at all.
Hey, whatever gets you from A to B, right? Except now you can take a whole family plus your friends and your grandma with you.
Oh, come on then.
Come on, Dodge Caravan. Shout out to Dodge if you want to sponsor our next episode. We are here and waiting, cha-ching, trying to get that sponsorship.
And the funny thing is, it was like a hell damage salvage title.
Is it?
So I got it cheap, and it's all beat up already. But
slightly used.
hey,
Dodge
it's got
Caravan.
low miles, baby.
That's all that counts, right? It's the engine work, not the aesthetics. I mean, you're already in a minivan.
Oh, and even after you get that brand new vehicle and you love it so much, it wears off, and you just get used to driving it, and then it's just your normal daily driver.
How's that thing get on gas?
Oh, not as good as a Spark does.
Not as good as a Spark?
Not as good. It's about 20 miles per gallon, which is about 20 less than the Spark gets. Spark gets 39.2 combined. That's actual mileage that I get, so I'm pretty happy about that. It's going to be sad to see it go. Not even 100% sure I want to sell it yet.
Is the Spark for sale right now?
Yes, the Spark is for sale.
How can Sparks sell the Spark? It should be like against your moral code or something, right?
I know. I don't
Right?
know.
Maybe not. Maybe I'm tripping.
No, you're not tripping at all. I love the thing, and I don't think I will sell it. I priced it high enough so that I just appeased my wife by, listing it for sale, but really don't want to sell it.
Mm-hmm. So you did some skydiving, tested out the minivan.
Mm-hmm.
I wish I had an exciting weekend like that, but
What'd you do?
I didn't do anything, and that's the best part about being on vacation is doing nothing. I don't got to be anywhere any certain times. I get a lot of sleep, definitely, when I'm not at work or in the rotation of work. For those that don't know, and if you do know, sorry, you're still going to have to hear it again for all the firemen listening to it. But we do work 10 days a month. We work a day on, 2 off. A day on, 2 off. And what that translates to is a day on, a recovery day, a preparing day, and a day on. over and over and over. So when you can break that cycle, it's always good just to sleep in. Some people sleep until 9. I sleep until 4 p.m. Don't judge me.
Yeah, so on that 24-hour shift, even if you are getting sleep, you're not getting good sleep. It really does make a difference. You can tell even if you slept 6 hours straight that night at the fire station, I guarantee you'll wake up and you'll still want to nap the next day.
Isn't it crazy? Like, I never can get into a deep sleep here. Like, it's just, I'm always tossing or turning, busy or not busy. I just can never get into that deep REM sleep. Does everybody know what REM sleep is?
Yeah.
It was rhetorical. It's a podcast. You can't answer back. But if you did answer with us, I appreciate the participation. But we're not giving out no ribbons for that. But yeah, so today we're going to be talking about the topic of dreams. So we worked right into that. First question of the day that's just been pondering around is, why do you dream? Why do you think we dream? We definitely ain't get no dreaming done at the station, but like I said, when I'm on vacation, I like to sleep. Why do I dream? We're going to get deep. It's going to get so deep.
I don't know. I think some people think that it's a way for you to kind of process, for your brain to solidify memories, to make lessons, form connections.
But what lesson can I learn from riding a dragon, robbing a convenience store? I mean, because some dreams are just far out there, you know, where it's not teaching me a life lesson as far as integrity. You better return that wallet that you found on the ground, or you better help that old lady across the street. It's not I don't feel like.
Well, I don't know, because imagine back in the caveman days, and if you had a dream you were being chased by a cheetah, right? You could maybe go through iterations of how you would solve that problem. Would you climb a tree? No, maybe the cheetah got you in the dream. Or would you jump in the water because cheetahs don't like water? I don't know, but maybe it's a way for you to kind of problem solve and pre-game issues. Who knows?
But do you think in the caveman days that their imagination was running wild? So did they dream of themselves having wings? I mean, why restrict yourself to climbing trees or jumping in waters, getting rid of the cheetahs? They seen birds.
Yeah.
They seen eagles, pterodactyls. Do you think their not level of consciousness, their higher level of thinking, I guess, for lack of better terms, would allow them to imagine that or dream that?
I think so. I definitely think so. I mean, I don't think you have any limits as far as your dreaming, and who knows, they could have totally have dreamt that they were a bird, but, that's a good question because maybe they've never seen something from a bird's point of view. I mean, if they went to a tall cliff and looked off the edge, then they might see that perspective, but they definitely didn't have satellite imagery. They didn't have airplanes to go ride in. They didn't have airplanes or hot air balloons that were taking pictures necessarily till all that technology was invented. So it would have been hard probably for them to even picture what the world looked like looking down. So I don't know. That's a very good question. Can you, I guess, innovate or go beyond what your current scope of knowledge is in your dreams? I guess it's possible. People have invented things in their dreams before.
Absolutely. But do you think you need to have that perspective to have that dream? You know?
I don't know. I mean, I'm trying to remember if I have ever dreamt something that I had never done in real life or something. I mean, of course, there's those crazy ass stuff. Like, I don't know. I've had some dreams where I was doing things that I never would have dreamt, I wouldn't even want to do in real life. So I don't know. It's weird because dreams can come from that dark, scary place, and nobody even knows their origin, or at least the dreamer doesn't know where they're coming from for sure. I don't know. What do you think? Have you ever had a dream where you were totally inventive, or it was a novel experience that you don't think that?
I don't know if it was a novel experience. It seems like all my dreams, I invent shit that's already created. Like fucking the Post-it, toaster strudel, things where I wake up where I'm like, man, that is a great idea, but it's already been invented type shit. So right. I've never, not that I can say off the top of my head, like, oh, well, I have this backpack that conforms into a bulletproof vest, because those are things out there like that, especially nowadays with the way society and shit is. But I don't know if I've just came up with this crazy brand new oh my God, this is about to change the game type dream. You know, I think you're right. It's always experiences, maybe perspective. I don't know as far as that goes. I do dream things, and then 2 weeks, month, maybe a year, years later, come up on the same situation. I'm like, you know what? I've been here before, or I've dreamed this. And most likely than not, I've dreamed this situation. It could be from the way you're holding a cup, talking to me, from the way that people walk down the street. If I just catch a rando walking down the street, like, oh my God, I've seen that rando. And I'm not talking about the typical day wander urban camper walking down the street. You know, I'm just talking about just certain instances. And I think there's a name for that, and it's called deja vu.
There is, and more specifically, so deja vu is feeling like you have already experienced something, and then deja rêve, I think I'm pronouncing that correct, is the experience it in your dreams, and then it happens in real life specifically. So I guess those are two different instances, because I guess deja vu is when you've experienced something that you think you've already actually done before, and then deja rêve is where you actually have either seen it or experienced it in a dream. So the crazy thing is like, what do you remember any of the specific examples where you thought you had seen stuff before or been in that experience or situation?
I can't think of big things. It's always stupid small things. How
Right.
somebody hands off cash, how you change the channel, or how something smells, how a plant is sitting in a corner, how fishes are swimming in a fishbowl. It's always just the little subtleties that it doesn't do it. But I've heard this before about deja vu. It's not that you're having an experience that you've already experienced. It's that your brain processes information so fast that your conscience doesn't catch up. So you've already processed that information, and your conscience is like, oh, shit. I've seen that booty walking down the street before. Where in reality, it was just 2 seconds prior to that, but you just haven't realized. You know,
your animal brain saw that booty from a long ways away.
That big old booty. You know, so I mean, I don't know. I do get deja vu a lot, though. I mean, to where it's like freaky, but you know, I can never really pinpoint. Did I have a dream? Have I been in this exact moment before in life? In this situation, in this kitchen, in this dark, musty ass house, you know, whatever it may be. You know, we could be in Scooby's garage, and I just get shout outs to Scooby if you ever listen to this. Scooby's my boy from back home. Got to give him his little plug in real quick. But we can be sitting in my buddy Scooby's garage, and a laugh or a comment could spring up something like, "I've been here before."
Right.
But that's all it ever is I've been here before. There's no solutions. There's no, this is what happened. It's just, I've been here before. What do we do about that? Oh, that's weird shit. Let's move on. You know, I don't know how to get any deeper into.
Whenever I have that feeling, I try to remember the next thing that happened, and I can never do it, of course. But I try and remember, oh, what happened next? Because maybe then I could either prove it or predict it or something, or you know. But it never does happen. I never do.
Yeah, I just never have enough facts to connect the dots. You know, like I said, it's just that subtle. I dropped my phone on the ground. It's like, have I dropped this before? Well, yeah, because there's a million cracks in it. But that exact way it hit, the exact way I saw it bounce, that is just
right.
That's just it's interesting. You know, have you ever had deja vu in your dreams? Have you ever been dreaming that a gorilla was coming after you? We like to use this reference a lot here on Rekindle Podcast. Gorillas. Animal Planet 2.0.
So had, what, a dream of a dream?
No, I'm not talking like Inception. I'm talking like, have you ever been in a moment in your dream where you're like, this has happened before?
Oh.
And in your dream, you're like, hey, I've been here before. I've drank this milk.
Not that I can think of, but do you have dreams that reoccur?
Absolutely.
What's one of them?
Absolutely. You mean like a series dreams or like the same dream?
Yeah. Well, yeah, I guess either the same dream or the same premise of a dream, like you're trapped in the same exact old nasty hotel room, or the same exact dreams happening every single time where, you know, a guy's chasing you, he catches you, and right as he stabs you, you wake up. Like, what do you have?
There was this dream that I could think about I couldn't even put a time on it. I don't know, 5 years, 10 years, yesterday. That's just the way my brain's working right now. But I was at this wedding, and it's always funny to me how dreams put random people in random situations. Have you ever been dreaming about like work and your 4th grade teacher is riding backwards on the engine with you? You know, it's like, have you ever had like a dream where it's like oddly placed? Or you could be at your house, and as soon as you walk out the front door, you're like in Jamaica for whatever reason, you know, and you speak Jamaican, but it's English in your head.
Yeah.
You know, it's weird. It's weird. In some of my dreams, I speak different languages. I'm fluent in 31 languages in my dream. I'm just like Baskin Robbins, you know. I'm all kinds of flavors. But, yeah.
What's a reoccurring one they have?
Yeah, that's what I was getting to. There was just this wedding that I was at, and it was my next door neighbor from when I was a child that was getting married. I wouldn't even know what this guy looked like as an adult, but in my brain, I formatted a look for him. My teachers were there from school, ex-girlfriends that I would never be caught dead in the same room with, you know, kindergarten lunch lady, just random people that don't belong in this situation. And every time they came to the part to say I do in this particular dream, I would always wake up. I'd go through the whole ceremony over and over and over, and right when it came time to say I do, I'd always wake up.
You got a fear of commitment. That's what.
You think that's what it is?
Just
Is it deep?
nah. That's what Freud would probably say.
Zang. Siegfried and Roy?
Yeah, Siegfried and Roy.
the old magicians. The magicians.
Shout out Tiger going Tiger.
I mean, that's the only thing that I can think of, like, reoccurring. Of course, I've had series of dreams. I've had dreams so awesome that when you get woke up, you're almost pissed about it. Like, why did I wake up?
And you want to go back.
And you want to go back to the dream. And sometimes I can. I can go to sleep, and if I'm riding a dragon, slaying lunch ladies.
I've heard of people being able to do that, and I never could. I mean, of course, there's dreams you wake up, but, you know, especially certain type of dreams you want to definitely go back to, but I never can. I don't know how people do that.
What kind of dreams would you want to revisit?
Oh, well. In this PG podcast, I can't talk about it. No, I'm just joking. So, of course, yeah, sex dreams definitely are the best ever. But I actually have dreams that I do fly, and I have dreams that I guess a reoccurring theme of a dream that I have is that I can breathe underwater. So whether I'm in a hotel pool in my dream, or I'm swimming in a mountain stream, diving in the ocean, swimming with sharks and shit, I can breathe underwater, and I'll jump in the water, and then I'll breathe. And I'll be like, holy shit, I'm breathing down here. And I'm like, fuck yeah, this is cool. So, yeah, I guess that's one that I have. That's a power in my dreams that I can. And I don't usually die, and I hear a lot of people talking about that dream where they're in a street fight or getting chased by someone and they can't run or they can't throw punches, but it's super weird. In my dreams, I'm empowered. Like, if I say, oh, I want to punch this dude in the face, I'm going to punch his buddy in the face too, and I'm going to kick this dude in the nuts, like, that happens in my dreams. I'll just be like, pow, pow, kick, and they'll be down. Like, I'm empowered in my dreams.
Have you ever tried to punch somebody in your dream, though, and had that total limp dick, like you had no power, that whiskey dick?
A limp wrist?
Yeah, that limp wrist where no matter what you're putting into it, you are just trying to
limp-wristed
fucking
weirdo.
Nail somebody in the face.
One time, we were at the state fair, and they had one of those carnival barker guys, you know, where they try and dunk the clown. And he said my buddy was a limp-wristed weirdo. So we still call him that to this day all the time. You fucking limp-wristed weirdo.
Shout out to the carny who made that nickname up that's going to follow this man through his whole life.
He had a name. I can't remember his name. Someone would remember it, I'm sure.
Yeah, man, dreams are crazy, you know, especially if, you said you can breathe underwater. Water's an important dream to interpret because it relates to emotional stability. So maybe you're an emotionally stable guy. Would you consider yourself emotionally stable?
Well, yeah, absolutely. I definitely would. Do you think that you can interpret dreams? Do you think that certain things have meanings, or that my dream with water will be the same dream you're having with water, or it means the same thing, the same struggle? Or
I think just like with anything else, everybody interprets things different. You
Right.
can put words to anything.
Yeah.
It may mean something to you. It may mean something different to me. I think you can put words to anything. I just started laughing, people, because I'm trying to work on my knows, and I'm going to include that in the podcast because we are human, and this is only the second episode.
Yes.
So we are going to run with knows, likes,
and knows, and
what had happened was. But yeah, I mean, I think you can put words to anything as far as meaning. Of course, every time I do have a crazy dream, I'm not going to lie, I'm one of those kooks that get on the Google on the World Wide Web and Google things. But what one website will tell me, another one will contradict completely on what it means. You know, normally the water thing, fish in the water, you know, somebody's pregnant. That's the kind of...
Really?
Yeah. When like a relative dreams of fish in the water or some kind of water with fish, it's usually somebody in the family's pregnant.
Weird.
There's different meanings, like, you know, like you underwater, like a mermaid, a merman would be, you know, emotional stability. And there's nothing more.
I'm down there chasing the mermaids.
Yeah,
too.
Exactly. Like when I look at Ariel,
I'm not coming up for any air.
when I look at Ariel from The Little Mermaid, there's nothing more than I think of emotional stability.
Yeah, right.
You know. So I mean, point well taken. Point well taken on that. Do you get sensations? So if you're underwater, do you feel wet? Do you feel cold?
I don't know. Not that I can remember exactly. Dreams are super weird in that all of a sudden you just are, boom, you're put into a situation. You already know what's going on. You know who's around you. You know how you're feeling at that time, and none of it needs explanation because you're actually like feeling it. Like, I know you've had that dream where you're talking about, boom, you got something and you're talking to a family member. Well, that family member might not even look like anybody you know. It might look like someone completely different, but you know in your mind that that's that family member.
Oh, yeah.
Super weird. That's a creepy feeling too.
That is creepy.
Because you're like, why was my mom looking like Fonza?
Yeah,
you know?
yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
That's
But
trippy.
it was my mom because I knew it was my mom was talking to her.
Yeah.
She was talking to me like, you know, it's weird. I did something weird about dreams. And like you were saying earlier, like you thought that the average dream is only 3 seconds or something like that, or isn't?
Yeah, and that's actually, I'm not going to say a fact because I don't know if it's 3 seconds, but the average person only dreams 3 seconds a night. So that is a testimony to how powerful our brains are.
Yeah.
Because some dreams, to me, I'm stuck in them for a week.
Yes.
You know, depending good or bad.
And they seem so complicated too, and so many details and intricacies.
Yes.
And if it was only 15 seconds, 3 seconds, whatever seconds. Yeah.
It's just a blip in time. But I tend to... I guess I can rephrase it like this. Do you have the ability to narrate your dream? Can you ever pull yourself out of a situation? Can shit be getting really weird?
Nah.
Like you and 4 dudes in a Prius. How do you pull out of that?
Well, and some people have said that people I've talked to, a lot of people, maybe even you, said that they know when they're dreaming. I have never been like, I know I'm in a dream right now. I have never had that thought.
I think... Yeah, that was something that I said and do say, that I always feel like I'm in control of my dreams. Now, shit does kind of go left field and get kind of weird, but I feel like consciously, are you unconscious when you're sleeping? Sure, right? I don't know the exact terms.
Yeah.
That's a good one to ask a super medic. If there's any super medics out there, go ahead and send us a comment. Also, if you guys want to email us, we're just going to put this plug right here in the middle because I forgot to say it earlier. Deal with it. You can reach us at the rekindlepodcast at Gmail. Give us your love mail. Give us your hate mail. Give us your junk mail. We take it all.
Send us titty pics.
Send us boobies.
Wait. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, we almost had to pause on that one. But yeah, I always feel like I'm conscious and like I can pull myself out, or like, okay, wait a minute, this is kind of weird. Let's change directions. You know, let's say, and I keep going back to the dragon phase because I don't know why I'm in the dragon phase right now. But if I'm fighting a dragon and I have a fucking sword, if it's not working out with the dragon, I feel like I could just be like AR-15 instantly. Bump, stop, and all.
That's crazy.
I'm fucking lighting the dude down. It's almost like I'm playing a video game with myself. You're watching a movie that you're the director, actor, producer. I mean, you're everything. It's your imagination. You're in control. You know, sometimes I talk to myself. I'm like, this is getting really weird. This has got to be a dream. You know, it's almost like Inception. You've seen that before, right? Dreams within
absolutely.
dreams.
Yeah,
and they always had the, what was it called? A fulcrum point? They always had, the one dude had the spinner. It was something always to remind them, am I in a dream?
Yeah, well, it was like a test that they could use because they would have dreams on dreams on dreams, multiple levels. So sometimes they wouldn't know if they were back.
But they carried something with them.
Yeah,
what is that called?
I don't remember what they called that.
Everyone had a different thing. One guy had a top.
Yeah.
And he would spin the top. And if the top never fell, he knew he was in the dream.
Yeah.
Is that what those are called? Spinners?
What do they call those? Oh, it's just like a top. Yeah.
Yeah, like a top spinner. Like
a dreidel.
Yeah. Kids get them in their Easter baskets. And you end up fucking stepping on them at 2 a.m. when you're trying to go take a piss. Like that.
Well, so then at the end of that movie, did you think that he was still in his dream or not?
Well, with the information that I got, I would have to say yes. And the only reason, because it cut to black before I seen the finishing spin at the top. But I can tell you, spoiler alert, the end of Inception, it never slowed momentum down. It stayed that strong spin.
Right.
But I think it was meant to be that way, to leave it up to the interpretation of the viewer.
Right.
You know,
well,
which...
And I think it also said something to Leo's character at that point, because when he spun that, he usually always waited to watch it, right, to see if he was in the dream or not. But he looked out and he saw his wife and kids. He spun that and he walked away. He didn't even wait to see the results. So in his mind, he didn't care if he was in reality
he was just
or a dream.
Live there.
He was happy with it.
Guys, if you haven't seen the movie Inception, you're a decade late, first of all.
Spoiler alert.
Spoiler alert. You're a decade late, but go check it out. It's if you like talks about dreams and what we're discussing today, it's basically people that dream within dreams, and they're trying to get secrets out of people, right? I don't know. Go read the bio. Internet Mobile Database. Find it. Look at it.
Oh, yeah. So one super memorable dream I had was when I was in high school. There was this girl named Meg Poindexter, and we were at this high school party. It was, I was dreaming this.
Is that a real name?
Yeah, yep, Meg Poindexter, shout out. I don't know if should you do that or not, but whatever, it doesn't matter.
I'll plug my friends all day. What's up, homie? Y'all hearing it?
Yeah, she's the homegirl. So she looked at me in the dream and said, "Holy shit, Jake, I just realized your last name backwards was Scraps." And when the dream went on, then I woke up and I remember she said that. I was like, hold on, Sparks backwards, S-K-R-A-P-S. Holy shit, it is Scraps. Like, so that was something, I don't know if I had ever spelled my name backwards and said it out loud like that. I know I hadn't done that, but in my dream, I had the realization that my name backwards was Scraps. So I don't know if I figured that out in my dream or I had known it at a subconscious level and then it was just brought to my conscious in the dream. But either way, it's super weird. So yeah, my last name backwards is Scraps, and I learned that in a dream.
Did you spell it out in your head?
In the dream or afterwards?
In your dream.
No, in my dream, I was just like, oh, yeah, cool, right on, keep partying. But yeah, no, when I woke up, I actually had to check it because it was something I didn't know. I wasn't like, oh, yeah. And when I woke up, I wasn't like, oh, duh, I know my last name's backwards is Scraps. I was like, hang on a second, is it? And then I checked, and it was. And that's why it was so amazing to me, because I wasn't conscious of the fact that my last name backwards was Scraps.
That's crazy. That's just how your brain works. Then the reason I ask if you spelled your name, because a fact about dreaming is you can't read while you're dreaming or tell time. They always say if you're unsure whether you're dreaming or not, try reading something. The vast majority of people are incapable of reading in their dreams. And that goes the same for clocks, too. The same goes for clocks. Each time you look at a clock, it will tell a different time. And the hands on the clock won't appear to be moving.
Well, and
it's crazy.
Was trying to think back. I can't remember any specific times of reading or telling time in a dream. It's like just one of those things where you're plugged into the situation and fuck, I'm late for work, and you have that dream you're trying to get there.
Does time exist in your dreams? Do you ever feel like you're confined by time like you are in the real world? Are you ever in a hurry to go slay that dragon?
Well, shit, you can have these long-ass intricate dreams in 3 seconds, so you think that. I mean, it's not like chronological, It's all of a sudden like, boom, I'm here, I'm there, I'm there, I'm there, boom, gone, done. And in your life or your experience, you probably felt like that dream was forever. If some boogeyman's chasing you, It's not going to feel like a short dream. It's going to feel like, holy shit, I was running from him forever. He kept him back up, and that, you know, or...
Now, does the same go for nightmares and good dreams? Or do only nightmares seem like they last for years?
Yeah, right.
You know, have you ever been a millionaire chilling with Joe Rogan
and it was taking
at
too
the Playboy
long.
Mansion, and it was taking too long?
Yeah, right.
I'm tired of staring at all these titties.
Well, that says something about our whole perception of time, how we experience that in real life. You know that if something's, you know, if you're watching your favorite show or whatever, it seems like it flies by, but if you're on a 24-hour shift at work, it seems like it can crawl by. So, yeah, that is definitely weird.
I want to know how come when I'm sitting watching a half-hour show, it flies by. But when I'm on the treadmill, that first 2 minutes is
exactly
eternal. Like, this is eternal damnation. Running is not a sport, people. You shouldn't do it for fun. Like, why? Like, what's up with that?
Time dilation. I don't know.
Constricted by time. I had a urban camper, i.e. homeless person, tell me one time that
a bum.
They don't have the same problems we do because they're home free. They're not homeless.
I'm home free.
And I was like,
man.
This dude's crazy. He's on drugs. But when you really think about it and dissect what he said to me, is he's home free. He probably does live a more freeing life, not constricted by time. Doesn't have to make the mortgage payment. Doesn't have to pay the phone bill on time. So do we got it fucked up? Or are they doing it right?
Yeah.
And they, I say loosely as a term, as urban campers.
I bet both of us got it fucked up. So, yeah. It's a whole nother talk for another podcast. I think that'd be a good one.
I just wanted to tie that little segment into the time constraint. Because we're talking about does dreams, is there a time? Is there time in your dreams? So
have you ever heard of anybody that doesn't dream?
I've had people say that before, that they just black out and go to sleep. It's usually people with sleep apnea because they're dying in real life. That is not snoring. I don't care what you're saying. When you're bro, you're fucking dying. You have a lack of oxygen right now, and you're trying to survive. Please, people, go get a CPAP. Please, get a CPAP. But, yeah, people say they don't dream. I find it kind of weird. I don't know. Do we dream every night? Do you remember your dreams? Maybe we do dream, but we just don't remember all of them. Because sometimes I wake up and like, oh my God, I was having a good dream, but I couldn't even begin to tell you where it started. You know?
Have you ever had a nocturnal emission?
You'd have to define that for all of us high school diplomians.
A wet dream?
A wet dream? Oh yeah, that is. Yeah, I just read something about a wet dream.
Yeah, that's the scientific name.
Is waking up with a boner a wet dream?
No, it's where you actually come.
It's where you actually bust a nut.
Come, yeah.
I can't say that I have.
I've had one that I know of, but I just think I'm beating off too much to ever even, get to that point. Because I think there's a scientific reason that if you don't ejaculate for a month or two or something like that, I think your body actually wants to get rid of that. But I don't know that for sure. That's speculation. But, yeah, the sex dreams are super powerful. I've had sex dreams with people that, maybe I wasn't attracted to, but then after the sex dream, I was like, yeah, you know what? I think she is pretty hot. Like that's...
Yeah. And there's a fact here, too, about sexual dreams. It says the studies indicate that men get up to 20 erections per dream.
Oh, yeah.
That's a lot of boners.
For sure. Well, why do they go away? Why can't you just... you keep me a boner for 3 seconds. I mean, come on.
Exactly.
So, how long are dreams? Maybe 20 a night, for sure.
How much is my blood pressure fluctuating in my sleep? That's another one. Yeah, I can't say that I've ever had a wet dream to arousal.
Well, my cousin Jared used to call his morning wood a piss boner because he could still take a pee with that boner.
Yeah, can't everybody? It just shoots in weird directions.
Well, yeah, but when I have like an arousal boner, I can't pee until, it goes down.
Yeah, I could see right after the euphoria of the nut that you couldn't pee, but just waking up with a straight up morning boner.
That's what I'm saying. What's special about it?
Yeah. Or if you've never peed after you have busted a nut and you let that shit dry up in there and then you go to try to piss and it's like you're putting your thumb over a fucking hose and it's squirting in all directions.
That's like that fucking scene from Me, Myself, and Irene. where Jim Carrey's in there.
He's looking up at the ceiling and shit.
Yeah, well, he's they bang all night or whatever, and he's the other guy, and then he wakes up in the morning to pee, and he's like peeing all over the place. He's like trying to use the shower curtain to bank it into the toilet in a pitcher and shit. It's
exactly that
scene.
reference.
Yeah.
Me, Myself, and Irene.
Yeah,
I haven't seen that.
You haven't seen that?
I mean, I haven't seen that in a long time.
Oh,
yeah,
shit. I was
like, thinking about his 3 sons when I said that. Yeah.
Damn. I was gonna say I'd put that. You're not as bad if you haven't seen Inception. If you haven't seen Me, Myself, and Irene, I would definitely recommend them both.
Well, you got to be a Jim Carrey fan. You got to be able to stand Jim Carrey. A lot of people can't.
Oh shit. Yeah. Yeah.
Alrighty then.
Yeah.
See, Pet Detective. If we're going into movies, which we're not going to get too deep into that.
Yep. I want to. We could.
Yeah, we could. We'll save it for another time. What do you guys think? Go ahead and shoot us an email over at therekindlepodcast@gmail.com. You'll probably hear that 7 more times just so you don't forget. Hit us up with that question. Do you want to hear about movies? TV shows? I can talk for days, people. But right now, we're sticking to the topic. Dreams. Do you ever have a dream that makes you get up because you're pissed about something? Have you ever had the girlfriend, the wife, cheat on you, do something scandalous in that dream, and you wake up and by the grace of God, you don't choke her out?
Yeah, absolutely. And then I've definitely been punished for stuff that I did in someone else's dream, for sure. Old ladies that I had in the past would be like, "You cheated on me in your dream," and I swear they would be actually mad at me for half a day for it.
Yeah. Do you ever wake up with an attitude, like, and reverse it back? Like, man, I can't believe you ate that last piece of chicken. You knew I was hungry. I was supposed to wake up this morning. These are the problems that I deal with.
I don't know. Not really. I mean, I've definitely had dreams where I want to slap the shit out of my wife, but I don't think I wake up mad at her still, though. But she definitely has it coming in some dreams.
Not even for that split second? Like, okay, I'm awake. Like,
did you do that?
Yeah. Did you do that?
Yeah.
Did you really wreck the spark?
No. Have you had a dream like that where you actually got mad at somebody?
Yeah, not for long periods of time. But, I mean, I woke up and, like, I wish this motherfucker would wake up right now. You know, and then you got to go chill out for a second. But, oh, yeah, absolutely. I woke up with an attitude for no reason. You know, maybe that's the definition of waking up on the wrong side of the bed. I don't know.
Right.
You know, but I have definitely woke up with attitudes for no damn reason. I don't know why I'm mad at breakfast. It should be the happiest time of my life. You got bacon, eggs, whatever else you like for fucking breakfast. That's my breakfast summed up. I shouldn't be mad. Who am I mad at? Bacon?
So are you, would you say you're a night person or a morning person? Or do you think that those people are, do you think that's even a real thing, being a morning or a night person? I mean,
as far as energy, I think people try to hide behind the excuse of, I'm not a morning person. I'm grumpy. I don't want to say good morning to you. Because we have guys around our job that are like that.
Yeah, on the department.
And I've had guys at my other jobs, other females at my other jobs, they're the exact same way.
I don't get it. I don't get how you can. I mean, your day just started. How can you already be pissed off? I mean, granted, if you didn't have a really bad dream right before you woke up.
Nightmares.
Poor little guy. Why don't you just go back to bed? Why do you wake up and come into work so mad? I don't know.
I do believe there are morning people and there are night people, I guess. The morning people seem to chipper right up with that caffeine.
Yeah.
You know, a lot of people don't even talk to me until I have my skim milk mocha chata latte from Starbucks or whatever. I don't drink I drink coffee, but not like that. Not like some people get crazy. Like you, I think you love crazy. You get crazy with coffee.
Yes, I do.
You know, I don't get fancy with my shit. I remember the first time I went to Starbucks and they asked me if I wanted a venti. And I said, no, I want a small, like, or a large.
Starbucks makes up their own shit.
They do. What's a non-fat chocolate? Like, what, what, who orders this shit and why are you ordering this shit?
Well, I'm just going to put it out there right now. If you've never had a breve, you got to have one. That's my drink, a triple breve.
What is that?
Sometimes when I'm feeling crazy, I get a little whipped cream. No flavor, though. No flavor. So it's espresso with half and half instead of steamed milk or 1% or whole percent steamed milk. you get it steamed up with half and half, and it's just a lot thicker, more manlier.
Would you more manlier? You got to justify it however you want to
Yeah,
justify
I know,
this shit.
I do, because people already bust on you if you're a man and you're not ordering a black coffee. That's what they're like. Oh, you little girl, you got to put sugar in our milk. I can drink black coffee if I want to. I just don't ever want to.
I like my coffee black. I'm a black coffee drinker. I don't put no cream, no sugar, black. I like it. Whoopi Goldberg, black. The back of Forrest Whitaker's neck. If you can name that reference, 5 points. 5 kudo points to you. Can you name that reference?
I can name that reference.
You can?
Yep. I can even give more hints to the listeners. It's a cop who says it, right?
Yeah, it is a cop.
And
Or he's playing a cop.
yeah, he's playing a cop.
I think we'll start a segment. If you can name that movie line that we're quoting, maybe we'll do a prize. Maybe we'll do a little Starbucks gift card. You ain't going to be able to buy your whole family Starbucks, but $5.
I hate the black on my gums. That's what he says, right?
I hate my lips because they black.
Yeah.
Something to that effect.
Yeah.
Very funny comedian. Big hint right here. Rest in peace.
Oh, yeah.
That's all I'm going to say. That's all I'm going to say on the comedian thing. But, yeah, I like my coffee just straight up. Are you one of those people that can drink coffee and go to sleep?
Yes. No, yeah, I absolutely can. And I'll drink coffee at any point in time. I don't have to have it. I definitely don't ever feel off or anything like that. I don't get when people say, oh, I haven't had my coffee yet. Like you said, there's that grump in there who just is a grumpy. Not even bad, but I definitely prefer to have it. And I actually, shout out to Joe Rogan. I like to start my day with just a little bit of coffee, try and fast until lunch. Doesn't always work, but that's what I like to do. I actually feel better when I do that. I don't get that mid-afternoon nap craving so bad.
Why the Joe Rogan shout out? Is that a Joe Rogan thing? Fasting?
Man,
coffee?
Everything I do is because Joe Rogan does it.
Is he your idol? Is he the reason we're podcasting?
He's definitely my man crush. No, you're the reason why we're podcasting, and I'm pumped about it. So thank you for making the steps and pushing it because it's fun. But yeah, no, Joe Rogan's the man.
I just like to bring topics to the table, and I think some of it should be shared because statistically, and I've said this before, if I have a certain opinion, there's probably 100,000 other people out there with my same opinion. That goes for you. That goes for anybody else. There's replicas of us out there. I don't care how unique you think you are, how much chai you like in your coffee. There's a motherfucker down the street getting just as much chai as you. You know what I'm saying? Is that even a thing? Is it chive? Like what I put on my baked potato? Is it the same shit? It's all healthy. I don't know.
That's funny.
Can I get kale on my coffee?
No, chive and chai are two different things for sure.
That's for all my diplomians right here. That's what this should be. Diploma versus master degree.
Well, that is definitely a good question because that kind of is like, has anyone had an original thought ever? And I don't know.
That's good.
Because, yeah. Could you have an idea and it not be based on anything you haven't had, before? Or, I don't know. There has to be some original thoughts, like Einstein or Edison or Tesla or whoever you want to
There's a difference with you having the same thought as somebody's had before, because I think anything you think, maybe somebody has thought of it. Maybe your perspective is unique. And it's one thing putting it into action. Like I'm talking about my dreams. I dream about creating the toaster strudel. Okay? If it never was created, does that mean somebody's never thought about it? Would that make it original?
Right.
I don't know. I'd like to think my thoughts are original, but I've even heard myself talk sometimes, and it's like, man, you got that from Friday 3. Come on, man. The best Friday out there. Friday After Next. Shout out Cat Williams, Day Day. That's another movie debate.
Oh, dude, the worst one ever. Me and Fonz had this one when we first met, pretty early into our buddyship.
A bromance.
Yes, exactly. He thinks that the Fridays, they go in reverse order in how they're the best. So he thinks 3 is the best, 2 is second best, and 1 is the worst one, right?
That is correct.
See, I had to even double check it because I can't even imagine you thinking that.
And you can't, do not pass judgment while you're sitting there sipping your coffee, getting ready for work, listening to all our nonsense. You have to see the Fridays first. Don't come at me if you ain't seen part 1.
Yeah.
Don't come at me if you ain't seen part 2. And definitely don't come at me if you ain't seen part 3. Because in order to rank them, truly, you have to see all 3. And a lot of people haven't seen 3.
We'll put the bastards who haven't seen any of the Fridays in a whole nother category of people that are just wrong.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You got to at least see one of them. Yeah, I rank them 3, 2, 1. Do something. Run one.
All right. 1, 2, 3 obviously is my ranking, as is probably everybody else who listens to this podcast. Because 1, the original, Chris Tucker, Ice Cube, can't go wrong. Oh, and my man Witherspoon, who just passed away recently as
Who was
well.
in all 3 movies, so that is negated.
Mm-hmm. Shout out.
What about Uncle Elroy?
Uncle Elroy. I mean, he's all right. He's a good character. And I mean, it's like, what about Roach, you know?
Yeah,
You know?
and next Friday. Exactly. That's why they're number 2.
Yeah.
You heard, Smokey, okay, was original. I just think it's very cliche to go 1, 2, 3. Because there are sequels that are better than the originals. And I can go on for movies for days.
One would do agree on is Bad Boys 2.
Yes, and that's exactly where I was going with this, is Bad Boys 2.
Yeah.
So if you haven't seen Bad Boys or Bad Boys 2, go watch this shit.
Oh,
because I think if you listen to this podcast, you're going to have to get your movie game up.
We got to cut us off here. Yeah, we got to cut this off and just save it for a whole podcast on movies.
Yeah, absolutely. Again, go ahead and hit us up on Gmail if you want to hear more about movies. therekindlepodcast at gmail.com. That's our plug-in on that. Yeah, we'll stop with the movie thing. We'll kind of tie it back to, do you ever dream of movies? You want to just rub it all in there? Do you ever think of yourself as like a Ice Cube character in Friday?
Oh, shit, that's funny. I don't know.
been-
Movies have definitely made you dream. Like, everybody's had that scenario where they watch a scary movie, and this is why a lot of people don't like scary movies, because it gives them bad nightmares, you know? I know, like, Flaherty, he says if he sees 1 minute of a scary movie, he's going to have nightmares that night. And that's the same way with my dad, my stepdad. That's what he says.
Wow. I don't know if anything affects me like that. If anything, my real life experiences would give me nightmares over movies. You know,
See, I have
unless it's Pennywise. That's a wholly different fucking thing. I don't do clowns.
right. If I gotta do, if I'm doing something all day, every day, then I would definitely dream about it. Like, so one time, this can be a little bit of a story here. I was in the Army. I got in a little bit of trouble when I first got in there. After that, I did really good things. But when I first got in, I got in a little bit of a trouble. And part of my punishment is I had to rake leaves in southern Missouri in the fall time. And all day, that's all we did. We'd wake up, do PT, rake leaves, go eat breakfast, get back from breakfast, rake leaves till lunch, go have lunch, come back, rake more leaves till dinner. After dinner, we'd rake leaves for 2 more hours, and then finally have 2 hours and then go to bed. You know, it was nuts. But I would have dreams of raking leaves all during those weeks when I was in trouble. I just kept on dreaming about raking leaves.
So you think repetition breeds dreams?
Yeah, I mean, it was just, that's what I was surrounded was fallen leaves all week. So that's what I dreamed about. It's weird. You know, I mean, I definitely think that your mind will kind of take what's currently going on and at least try and understand it, or at least, you know, that's what it's been inundated with. But have you ever had a problem solved by a dream, or had a solution come to you in a dream?
No.
Yeah.
I'm just going to do a hard no on that, because I don't think that any of my problems are solved in my dreams, because they're mostly fantasy for the most part. You know, the imagination's taken off. I don't have day-to-day problems in my dreams for the most part. Don't worry about paying mortgage. Don't worry about getting insurance on the cars, paying tags. I don't have those problems. Back to the fucking dragon thing.
Right.
There's always a dragon chasing me.
I wonder, because in our research, we came across some inventions that had been invented in dreams, or that came to people in dreams. So you wonder if this person had just been concentrating on that problem so much, like day in, day out, like my leaves. Did their brain kind of work it out for them? Did their brain make unconscious connections that they couldn't do in their conscious mind?
Yeah, well, it had to be. I mean, some facts about inventions that were inspired by dreams. The idea of Google by Larry Page. That was a dream
That's fucking nuts.
by Larry. You know, I don't know how you dream of Google when it didn't even exist. Other things, the alternating current generator by Tesla. That was a fucking dream. You just fucking dream that shit.
Yeah, the most important internet thing that we have, Google, and then what powers any computer, you know, that's crazy.
Absolutely. The sewing machine was another invention inspired by dreams. The sewing machine.
That is wacky. Yeah.
I wonder if I could take this string, this bead of grass. Like what?
I wish I could design machines in my sleep.
Yeah. I wish I could think of something insane, make them dollar bills off of it. But no, I don't have any creative dreams like that. My shit's always...
What's your most memorable dream?
Oh man, that's hard. That's hard. I can't think of a memorable dream off the top of my head.
Really?
Well, because I'm so deep into this conversation, I'm just thinking about that wedding with my best friend that I don't know what he looks like when he's fucking grown up, and the stupid fucking dragon that's in my head. That's all I can think about. I can't think of anything about, you know, fucking dreams right now. I just totally, I don't know. Every night it's different. I mean, I've been everywhere from the Titanic to the fucking a submarine to fighting them dragons.
See, I had this one dream in 9th grade.
It's crazy that you remember all your dreams like that.
Yeah.
It's crazy.
And somehow I was in this floating house. I was floating in space with buddies, and we were fighting these movie monsters that were coming, which is weird because they were like characters from movies. We were fighting them or whatever. It wasn't real violence, like we were slapping them with brooms and shit. And then all of a sudden, the house crash landed on this new planet, and we were floating in this water that we didn't have to swim in, and I was like perfectly clear. It was almost like a vapor that we were floating around and swimming in. And coincidentally, in real life, all of my friends cheated off me in school. So, like in biology, math, science. So they actually, they were like, Sparks, what is this stuff? And I was like, it's hydrocarbon, man. We're in hydrocarbon land. And I woke up and I was like, hydrocarbon? I don't even know what the hell those are. And so
chlorophyll, more like chlorophyll.
I had to go ask my science teacher what they were at that time. I was in physical science, I remember. And she's like, yeah, hydrocarbons, you know, they're... hydrocarbons are, you know, a hydrogen, water, and then a carbon molecule. Usually there's some sort of fuel, like petroleum is a hydrocarbon. So I didn't know that. I'd heard it before on the Discovery Channel or some shit like that, but my subconscious brought it to my consciousness.
So your dream was about you and your buddies swimming in petroleum jelly.
Pretty. Oh no! You want to get into that? No.
It's the same thing, right?
I honestly had never used the word hydrocarbon before that, but somehow, and I definitely didn't know what it was. I literally asked my teacher about it the next day. I was like, hey, I had this dream we were swimming in hydrocarbon. What is it? And she's like, well, what's this?
It's lube.
Yeah. Super crazy.
That's crazy that you remember all that. I remember more dreams like when I was a kid more than adult life, at least off the top of my head. I remember I was a huge Power Ranger fan. And for all you millennials out there that didn't like the Power Rangers, just turn the podcast off. I don't even want to talk to you. But I remember I created my own Power Ranger in my head, and I was the Brown Ranger. And I rode around in the Camel Zord, and that was my thing. It was like, it was just, you know, just doing the Mighty Morphin Power Ranger thing. You know, I would kick, punch, beat up putty characters. I don't know. I mean, for some reason, that dream was just coming to my head.
My brother told me a long, long time ago that if you died in your dream, that you would die in real life. And he would always tell me that, and I was scared of it for the longest time. I don't know where that comes from, but I'm sure
you never truly seen yourself die in your dream, right? It was just implied. Like, oh, I jumped off a cliff, I must be dead.
Yeah,
but you don't hit the ground.
Right.
You don't feel that. Actually, you know, now that we're talking about that, and it's almost hard to articulate into words, but I did have a dream where I went off a cliff, and I couldn't tell you if I was on a motorcycle or if I was in a car. But I remember falling down the cliff, like rolling with the car rolling down, obviously, because I'm sitting in it. And the car landed on top of me, and I remember like my head getting crushed. And I almost had like this numbing feeling, like my leg fell asleep, but it was on my head. I could have been having a stroke in my sleep. I don't fucking know. Like, I woke up drooling. The shit was weird. They did the Cincinnati stroke scale. Everything's fine. But yeah, I just had like this weird tingling sensation. I'm like, I wonder if that's what dying really feels like. Does it feel like that? Do you get a sense of your whole life flashing in front of you? Do you get that? I mean,
yeah. Or is it just like when you're unconscious? It's just boom, done. I don't know.
It's got to be that. That's something that goes in a whole other world.
Well, and then they also say that on the subject of death and dreams, that DMT, the spirit molecule, if they would, it's this hallucinogen that you can get from the ayahuasca trip. Some people may have heard of it. Shaman use it down in Central or South America to kind of send people on journeys. But anyway, they say that your brain, specifically your pituitary gland, androgynously produces the DMT molecule, and that is what causes you to have such realistic dreams. And that is why when you take a lot of it, androgynous forms of it, that you have crazy hallucinations. And then they also say that your body releases a ton of it when you die. So I don't know how they're related, but that's interesting that you brought up death and sleep, because for some reason your body will release some of it when you sleep and then some of it when you die.
Yeah, I've heard of that DMT shit before. Mike Tyson talks about it on one of his podcasts. But they also rave something that's even the next level of that, and it's called the toad.
Yeah.
And basically there's this toad that lives like in a rainforest somewhere. I don't fucking know. So where do toads live? Some kind of toads. And there's like this fucking slime that like formulates on their back. And these people go into this rainforest, find these toads, and scrape this slime shit off of it. I don't know if they cook it up and put some other shit into it, but they call it the toad experience. And Mike Tyson talks about this in several of his podcasts. I would almost even venture to say all of his fucking podcasts, talking about this experience. And he says that when you have the toad experience, that it releases you from problems, from worries, from love, from hate. Everything is just released. There's nothing. He says people that you care about the most, your mom, your dad, your wife, your husband, nephew, whatever, all that goes away and it doesn't matter at that point in time. For a drug or frog slime that can do that to you, I don't want anything to do with it. That's too trippy. I don't want to know myself that well. That is a whole different level. I
would try it for sure.
The toad experience?
Yeah. Yep. I definitely would.
I guess next time you go to Brazil is where they're doing this.
I'm gonna
and
go.
It's like $4,000 for this experience.
To lick a toad's back.
Yeah, to lick a toad's back. Maybe it'll turn into a prince. I don't know. But yeah, they rave about the shit. But I don't know, any kind of thing that's gonna make me trip balls that bad, I'm out. I can't do it. It's too much, because I feel like our minds are too powerful enough. And if you're opening up another dimension, because what they say that the human brain, we only use 10% of it. Have you ever heard that?
Yeah, I've heard it. I think it's bullshit.
You think we use more than 10%?
I think we use it all.
All of it?
Mm-hmm.
No.
Well, imagine how much shit's going on behind the scenes. The subconscious level of your thought. There's so much going on, so much regulatory stuff. You couldn't possibly have to think about all of that stuff consciously. Your brain has to do the majority of all of the bodily functions. And
make my heart beat, make my liver work, make that pancreas secrete whatever a pancreas secretes.
Secrete the juice. And I mean, even thinking something as conscious as speaking, do you think I'm really thinking about how my jaw is moving, how hard I'm blowing out, how I'm, flipping my tongue or whatever, usually I'm just thinking about what I'm about to say, because from listening to these podcasts, you can go back and you're like, what the hell was I saying? Why do I say like so much? You know what I'm saying? Like,
oh, yeah.
And what, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Like,
absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah. I am guilty of using the same terms over and over again. But, and that's what we talked about that podcast would be like for us, because technically you guys are just listening in on our conversation. Whether you find it boring, funny, stupid, whatever, you're still here, and we're 55 minutes in, motherfuckers.
Yeah.
So something's retained you enough. Do I think about I need to open my jaw 7 inches to get a syllable out? No, you're not consciously thinking that. It's automatic. But is it automatic? No, because something's thinking about it.
Right.
You know?
Right, yeah.
But...
Well, and I mean, if we want to take this podcast a whole nother place right now, is I have crazy ass dreams. I'm a crazy sleeper. Like my wife will tell you. Like this is pretty personal, but so she wakes me up a special way, and she said that when we have a kid, she's gonna have to teach the kids how to wake me up because I can wake up freaking out sometimes. And the reason we got on this whole sleep, like, oh, fuck, we should talk about that, is because I was telling Fonz about this dream that I had. And so last night, I wasn't having a dream even. My wife, her leg just kicked me in a weird way. And for some reason, I woke up and I cussed in like when I'm waking up in these mad states, I say, motherfucker! And I had my fist cocked back, ready to punch her.
Wow.
Yeah. And then I just hear her saying, Jake, it's me, Jake, it's me. And then I'm like, holy shit. And then I have these crazy feelings because I seriously just woke up being ready to, fucking kill somebody, not knowing what's going on.
Yeah.
And then I hear my wife's voice, and she's, saying, it's me. And then I feel horrible because I was just about to punch her, you know? And last night was one of the more powerful times I've had it, and it's not always like directed at her. It's whoever's waking me up or whatever's going on. I don't know if I'm in a crazy dream at that point, and they're just catching me when I'm in that high reaction mode from the dream. But it happens, not even too often where it's like a big problem or something. But it's definitely something weird. And one of the craziest time I remember that I was actually having a dream. It was so scary to me. And it like gets me pumped up just thinking about it. But me and my wife had just moved into our home before this home. It was an apartment in between houses. And I woke up to my wife screaming, Jake, it's me, calm down. And I was literally up, standing in front of our bedroom door that was open, staring down the hallway in a fighting stance with my fist clenched, and I'm screaming, come on, motherfucker, like that. And I seriously thought that my wife was being attacked by somebody and that there was more people coming in and attacked. And so I mean, if you can imagine waking up in the scenario that you're actually being attacked and your wife's being attacked, and if you can imagine really actually that happening and the feelings that you would be feeling and how pumped up and jacked you would be, that's how jacked I am. I wake up actually believing this shit is actually happening, and it takes me a minute to calm down and be like, holy shit. And then I can't go back to sleep because my heart is literally pounding at 140 beats a minute, and I just had, how a huge adrenaline shot go through my veins because I'm having these experiences in my sleep that I think are real. And for some reason, I actually get up and I play them out. Like a lot of people, so your body has this protective mechanism that it does to sort of paralyze you during your dreams so you don't hurt yourself. Like if, we were tree-dwelling animals like we once were and we were having a crazy dream, we wouldn't want to fall out of the tree, right? Or if we lived by a cliff, we wouldn't want to have a dream we were walking and walk off a cliff. So your body actually paralyzes itself to protect you during your dreaming states. And in some people's brain, especially immature brains, like younger kids usually have them and they fade away, but in mine hasn't gone away, but my brain doesn't do that. It doesn't shut off that movement piece of it. So I don't know why it is. I have no idea. I don't go to like a psychologist for it or whatever, anything like that. But I have crazy ass dreams. I'm always sleep talking. Every night I sleep talk, but it's rarer that I sleepwalk.
Have you always had this, or is this something that's developed in your adult years? Did it stem from, a traumatic event, or I don't know. I hate to throw around PTSD
no, I know.
as a word,
no.
or letters, I guess.
You could say it. Maybe it is. So I've always been a sleep talker and sleepwalker, but I never had these type of fighting dreams before.
Yeah.
And I don't know where that came from. If it is PTSD from war shit, then it's, I don't really experience too many other manifestations of that. I don't know. But, I'm not walking around in these states. It's just something weird about the way I dream where it feels 100% real, and it's fucking crazy.
Yeah. So you can't talk yourself out of that. Once you're in that zone, you can't be like, hey. Well, no, because you're physically waking up, right?
I'm actually asleep. Like I could be standing up, looking at you, staring at you, and then in 5 seconds I would wake up and I'd be like, "What the fuck is going on?"
That's
but
crazy.
You would be like, "You were just looking at me, talking to me, and sleeping." Like one time, I was visiting, and it's weird. It kind of happens when I'm sleeping newer places too. Like sometimes I'll get it in hotels and stuff, and I've actually had it here at the station before. I upstairs in the bedroom, I woke up and got out of the bed and looked at that back window because I thought someone was fucking with my car. It was weird. I don't know why, and then I woke up as I was at the window. I'm like, what the fuck am I doing? Go back to bed, you idiot. But I had a dream one time that so in real life, I was watching TV with some family, and I had fallen asleep while we were watching TV. So lights were on, TV was going and stuff. Those two were still awake. And I woke up, and I was like, where'd it go? And they're like, what are you talking about? I was like, it was just here. I just saw it. It just ran behind the couch. So I got up, and I actually physically moved the couch away from the wall. And then I was just like, they said I was just like, oh. And I went back to bed. And then I woke up in the morning, and I was like, the hell? Why is the couch moved? And they're like, you don't remember? And I'm like, no, what are you talking about? And they're like, yeah, you got up and fucking moved it.
That's crazy shit. I've never had experiences with me personally sleepwalking or anybody else. I've never seen it. I heard you're not supposed to wake people up. Crazy. Like, hey, cut that shit out, motherfucker.
Yeah.
But I don't know. I've never experienced any kind of sleepwalking. I did go to a DARE camp back in the day, a drug abuse resistance education camp, and we did have a girl in our cabin that would get up and stand like in the corner, but she wouldn't freak out or anything, but she would just stand there like some fucking weirdo from like the Blair Witch Project type shit.
Yeah.
And it was always like freaking us out. And people would try to explain to us like, hey, don't wake these people up, let her go through her little phase or whatever. And I never really understood it. And I guess I can't really grasp it either because I haven't personally been through that. But hearing you talk about it sounds crazy. Like I couldn't even imagine. I'd be afraid of my power or afraid of the possibilities of what, I could do. Because what's stopping you? What snaps you out of it? Is there a safe word with you? If you say like rubber baby bunkers, do you like pop out of it?
Well, right now it's my wife's voice. For some reason I can always pick up on her voice and her saying, so I know that like it's a good thing. But I'm scared if I'm sleeping sometime, my kid needs to come wake me up or something. And we'll just like smack the shit out of him or something, or cuss and kick him or scare him or something.
But what if you might have a different mindset knowing it's your kid no matter what, right?
Well, no, but that's like, I don't know who, like last night when I cocked back, I didn't know it was my wife.
Yeah.
I just, who knows what I'm thinking? I'm just seeing somebody and, something in a bed, you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, that's
like, I don't know who it is. I could be looking right at you and be thinking that you're someone else because as in dreams, I'm literally dreaming while my eyes are wide open and I'm looking around. It's crazy.
So your body's on autopilot, essentially.
Yeah.
Because that's just weird that your eyes are open, but you're still asleep. You're still in that dream mode. But are you?
Or are
you awake?
I don't know, because like when I had that thing behind the couch, you have to have your eyes open to get up and, be able to actually move a couch around and stuff like that. And I was still actively looking for whatever it was, even after I'd moved the couch. So, but I realized the moment when I kind of wake up, because just like when I was standing at the window here at the station, I had to be able to see to get over to the window to be standing right in front of it. But then all of a sudden, it's just weird. All of a sudden, I'll go from thinking someone's breaking in my car to no one's fucking with your car. You were just sleepwalking. Go back to bed. It's weird. I don't know what it is, and it just takes a little bit of time for that dream to wear off, and My brain snaps it back, I guess. I don't know.
But when you snap back, if you're looking at me thinking I'm somebody else and you're in that sleep mode, when you snap back, is it almost like your eyes open when you're regularly sleeping? Or does it all just kind of mesh together like, I'm
yeah,
great?
it's a weird fade. It's a weird fade because then all of a sudden I'll go from thinking that you're some crazy person and be like, oh, fuck, yeah, Fonz. Like, now he probably thinks I'm a fucking weird like a psycho or something.
Yeah.
Like, that's how I always feel super bad because I don't want my wife to be worried about her safety when we're sleeping. You know what I mean? Like,
absolutely.
and you know, I'm a level-headed person. I'm not a violent person.
Emotionally stable.
Yeah, I'm emotionally stable. Would never in my, people know that I would never hurt my wife. I would do anything to, stop her from being hurt. And yet I'm the crazy person she has to sleep next to.
Yeah. That'd be interesting to see how her perspective of that.
I would, yeah. Maybe we should bring her on sometime. Yeah, or something. Yeah.
Well, thanks for the warning. You never told me that before.
Yeah,
we
no
could have been a
shit.
full fucking brawl. The fuck is this food tripping out for? Why does he think I'm a dragon?
I know.
It's funny, but not funny. I mean,
Yeah.
That's crazy things, that people deal with.
And so, do you think that there's a difference between, I guess, your perception of dreams and your perception of reality? Because I've heard people talk about how you can't necessarily, or all of the world is based on your perception, your brain's ability to perceive things through their senses, right? So your sense of sight, touch, smell, or whatever.
Feel all that.
And your dreams can make you think that you're actually seeing stuff, feeling stuff, tasting stuff, going through the motions of actually doing things. So then how much can you trust your own perception, your own senses? Because your dreams feel real. And, everybody will say that they've definitely, if not all their dreams feel real, that they've definitely had dreams that they could have swore were real life.
Oh, absolutely. That's when you wake up pissed at that girlfriend or you wake up, well, that goes back to what I was asking. Since you dream of swimming in water all the time, do you feel that sensation of coolness of the water? Is it warm? Is it cold? I mean, how do you? And you're only going off of what your brain's telling you, obviously.
Right.
So.
Yeah, and your brain almost fills in those storyline gaps or whatever. Maybe I just had one single frame of being in water, and then I had one thought of swimming, or something, or being able to breathe, and then my brain kind of connected all those and made it seem fluid. Like just how you could take a sentence that has 25 words in it and randomly just take letters out of that sentence, right? Mm-hmm. And then you could still read the sentence, though, and it would still make sense to you, even though those letters are missing.
Because there's a whole game show on that called Wheel of Fortune.
Yeah, because your brain can fill in those gaps and make it all make sense. So some people think that dreams are like that, too. Like I'll only have one picture frame in my mind of driving, and then one picture frame of a guy trying to shoot me, and then one picture frame of me running, and then my mind fills in all those gaps and make it seems like a seamless story.
Yeah. Then are they picture frames, or is it just that seamless story?
Right.
I think something was mentioned earlier about chronological. Do you dream chronologically? Obviously, you formulate a story.
Yeah.
It's got to have a beginning, a middle, and an end.
Right.
To be considered a story. So maybe they're not picture frames. Maybe they're whole concepts, whole ideas, that formulate one big picture. Yeah, that's some deep stuff here on the Rekindle podcast.
No shit. I know. Sleep's a big one. Everybody does it a third of your life is spent sleeping, right? And then what'd you say from your research, a sixth? Or how much of your life is spent dreaming?
Oh, 6 years.
Yeah, 6 years of your entire life.
An average of 6 years is spent dreaming.
That is fucking crazy. So it has to mean something. I don't know, or it has to be a vital process or something. Because why would if you can, pass out and have just a completely blank, like you fall asleep, you wake up and it felt like nothing happened in between, why do you have to sleep then? Why?
To regenerate.
Yeah. To learn.
Does every living thing dream?
I don't know. You always see the dog sleeping on the floor, acting like it's running.
Yeah, barking or
wake itself up,
doing all that shit.
Yeah. I bet he feels like I do.
Yeah,
Waking up like, what the fuck?
Exactly.
What the
This
hell?
motherfucker looking at me. Give me a biscuit.
Yeah.
Let me get that buttermilk biscuit. Yeah. Dreams.
Freaky shit.
Freaky shit.
What'd we leave out? Leave a comment. Tell us what we left out.
Yeah, let us know what's up. How do you guys
Yeah.
feel about dreams? Do they mean everything? Do they mean anything? Does everybody dream? Can you learn from your dreams?
Yes.
Mistakes you've made in the past that you've dreamed about. Can you learn from that? Maybe I shouldn't fight the dragon next time.
Do not.
That is my reference of the day as keyword
Do
#dragon.
not.
I don't know if I can pick anything out as far as that I've learned from it, but let us know. therekindlepodcast@gmail.com. Hit us up. Is there anything else you'd like to add about dreams? You're the dream guy. This is you.
Never stop dreaming.
This is Jake episode part 2. You really got into some good stuff here, but
Yeah, nah, that's about all I have to say. And sleeping is very important. Definitely is very important. And just like we said, sleeping and dreaming, it's probably vital to some sort of process. So sleep hygiene, if you're not practicing it, you need to start. Because as firemen, we always are conscious of sleep hygiene because we never get it. That's the one complaint I have about this job is I don't get enough sleep. So if you're in a position to get as much sleep as you ever want, then lucky for you.
sleep, and that goes for everybody, doctors, nurses that are up, holidays, all hours of the night, the polices.
Don't sleep your life away.
Don't sleep your life away, absolutely. But get that good mental hygiene,
Yeah.
that sleep hygiene in you,
8 to 10 hours recommended.
because that will translate into you being a morning person if you're not. Have good dreams, have good thoughts, stay positive. Can a negative person have a positive dream? I don't know. We'll answer that at another time. I want to thank everybody for tuning in to the Rekindle Podcast. This is episode 2. If you're still listening to us on the way to work, you are late as fuck, and you better hurry up and get there. Again, I'd like to thank everybody who is tuning in, all 5 of our listeners out there. You guys are the heroes and the foundation of this podcast. If you guys want to check out this podcast, eventually we'll move over to YouTube and have video cast, but right now we are strictly on Anchor. And if you want to find us, go ahead and go to anchor.fm/rekindle. That's us all day. Again, anchor.fm/rekindle. If you want to go ahead, we don't have comment capabilities right now. Send us an email, therekindlepodcast@gmail.com. Until next time, I'm your hostess with the mostest, Mike, with my co-host.
And I'm Jake, and we look here to California. Oh.
Look, here to California. This is how we be fucking up on these podcasts, but we'll get better for you. Everything gets better in time. Everybody stay positive out there. Make sure you get that 8 hours of sleep. Don't be that asshole in the morning that doesn't say good morning to anybody. I'm going to go ahead and close it out here. I holla.